Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into the proxy statement from Wheeler Real Estate Investment Trust, and trust me, it's more exciting than it sounds, unlike Wheeler's own shares. This isn't just paperwork, it affects every share of this real estate company and might leave you wondering if you need a real estate agent to navigate it all. Before we get started, if you appreciate getting a breakdown that doesn't bore you to tears, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where you can chat with other investors. Let's kick things off with what this proxy statement is all about. The most important item on the agenda is a set of proposals to authorize reverse stock splits. Reverse stock splits are when a company reduces the number of its outstanding shares to increase the price of each share. It's like taking a small pie and cutting it into fewer but bigger slices, but you still own the same pie, just cut differently. First, what and who is Wheeler Investment Trust? Reading the initial parts of the filling it is clear that it is a standard proxy document and is filed by the registrant. To simplify it, basically the company filled it themselves, not someone else. At the annual meeting, shareholders will vote on electing 8 board members, picking their accounting firm, and most importantly, approving a series of reverse stock splits. Think of the board of directors election like a popularity contest for leadership roles within the company. Each director serves until the next annual meeting, ensuring ongoing accountability and potential for change. Why so many votes for potential splits? You might ask. Now for the main story, these splits would allow the board to do a reverse stock split where they reduce the number of shares, increasing each share's value sometime between 1 for 100. The filling states it's all about maintaining their Nasdaq listing and making the stock look more attractive. It sounds like a financial makeover. However, there is no guarantee the board of directors will exercise its discretion to effect a reverse stock split. The main reason for the votes is to maintain our listing on Nasdaq and continued compliance with its bid price rule. This means they need to keep the stock price above a certain minimum to stay on the stock exchange. They mention a stock needing to keep a minimum bid price of $1.0 per share. Warren Buffett would probably tell them to create value instead of financial tricks. So how will they decide the split ratio? The finding states they will examine items like trading and how it affects the market. It's about finding the right balance to look appealing to Nasdaq and investors. A common stock, less liquidity, some stockholders owning odd lots that may be harder to sell. Let's switch lanes and talk about executive compensation if there is nothing. It is not the best sign when the top management are not incentived and rewarded. It's generally better incentive if they feel the pain directly. I'd recommend the company consider issuing the leaders restricted shares or options to align their incentives with shareholders. Moving on to the board of directors, members get $65,000 a year and the chair gets an extra $40,000. This shows fairly standard board compensation. Here are the earnings for each named director. They do their main function, which is to help steer the ship, oversee risk, and keep management in check. But shareholders and potential investors alike should wonder what incentives are strong enough to keep the ship in the correct direction. One of the most important committees is the audit committee. So what does it oversee? Well, by scrolling to you immediately know who those people are. The company provides general oversight of the integrity of the company's financial statements, the adequacy of the company's system of internal controls, the company's risk management, the company's compliance with legal and regulatory requirements, the independent auditor's qualifications and independence, and there is nothing noteworthy on this committee other than it exists, which for a publicly trading company is required. I have no further opinion on this section. And down, there is nothing noteworthy on this committee other than it exists, which for a publicly trading company is required. I have no further opinion on this section. The auditors were paid $315K for audit fees, the company's use of Cherry Becker LLP, and their audit pre-approval policies are stated sec. The relationship that the auditors must maintain, independence must be clearly outlined for auditing procedures. Now let's see who actually owns the company and who stands to gain or lose with any reverse stock split. Let's scroll security ownership of certain beneficial owners and management. While reviewing the holdings of certain insiders, it is interesting to note that only Kerry G. Campbell and Joseph D. Stillwell have substantial positions as shareholders. I'm not sure the others are properly incentivized. Joseph D. Stillwell is the main player, owning nearly 50% of the shares. Magnetar and I2 Capital also hold significant chunks. Arnold, does this all mean they are set to profit from the split without caring about long-term value? Well, perhaps something is interesting here as well. The capital stock amount is listed and the share amount are the same. This means almost $1 value is still $1 value is still $1 for it. What that's worth investigating. Exi here is a quick summary of the players who can be affected by the vote. Lastly, does the company do what it says? Luckily, and per usual, Wheeler REIT has a code of conduct file that was available on the website and does provide enough legal jargon to feel like it's a real document. Additionally, there is also an well, in case of an accounting nightmare, the big bosses can have some money taken back, a policy in place. Now, for my opinion on this report of what I could gather and put together in a short time, and it seems like Wheeler Real Estate is fighting to keep its NASDAQ listing with constant reverse stock splits. It's not a great sign where a company has nothing but red flags. The leadership's weak ownership stake makes me wonder if they have any skin in this game. At best, it is not amazing, and it needs all its reverse stock split votes to pass to keep the business listed in the NASDAQ, as compliance should be a number one priority at the moment. Alright, what's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.